Good afternoon. It is the Tuesday, the 21st of March, 2023. First full day of spring. Although it's really been spring here for quite some time. Trees are green, flowers still in bloom. Still isn't that the hottest as it's going to get, right? Because still ain't the dead grass and everything. But it's a beautiful time of year. I enjoy it. I enjoy spring and I enjoy late fall and even the winter. Enjoy all the seasons, right? So today we're looking at Smokejumpers, and it says a game by Kerry Anderson, and it is a war game. Make no mistake about it. This was produced by the old Fiery Dragon Productions a few years back. Which all of those games were kind of interesting. I've done a bunch here. A lot of those games were done by, some of them were done by like Brian Train. You had like Warplane Crimson and Operation Whirlwind. At least one were done by Ben Madison, who's another designer that I enjoy, which was Liberia Descent into, is it Darkness or Madness? Darkness maybe? The Liberian Civil War. And then Kerry Anderson, I think he did more than one, but he at least did one, and it was this one right here, Smokejumpers. And a lot of those Counter-Strike mini games, to me, were almost, I don't know if it's fair to characterize them as that, but they were almost subversive to me, right? And I love that kind of thing. I love unconventional things. I love different ways. I love odd wars we look at. When I say odd wars, I don't mean odd in the sense of just odd in the sense of what happened, how it went down, the beginnings of it. One of the games I was happy to see is like the football war, which that's interesting how it goes down. Just interesting games. Again, I don't know if they're fair to call them subversive, but I'm gonna say, they're not what traditional war games would be, and I love everything about that. Even things I might do and I might produce, maybe not a traditional war game, maybe a stretch of what a war game is. And this one is no different. This one really does. Although I do think it's a war game. Don't get me wrong, but it's a different look at a war game. Let's it really isn't a back blurb, but let's look at this designer note right here and read it. At least the little paragraph there. Smokejumpers is a departure from normal war games that most people play. Yes, it is. Yet, in a way, it is very similar. The business of fighting forest fires in a paramilitary event with many familiar features in a traditional war game. It has many familiar features in a traditional war game. Players send troops into battle, set up defensive lines, and call in airstrikes. In Smokejumpers, the forest fire is now the enemy, and the troops are now firefighting crews and bulldozers. Defensive lines are trenches dug into the forest floor, and airstrikes carry water instead of napalm. And that's true. If you've ever been in a place where you've really seen, I'll tell you, a couple places, right? I've seen pretty bad forest fires, but one of them that was an interesting fire to look at, where was in Ecuador. We had a couple of times bad fires there, and on those tall Andean mountains that surround you down there in Quito, you could smell the smoke during the day, but at night you could see literally that line of fire across the high mountains, and you would look at it, and there would be this sort of beauty to it, but you knew that there was lines of firefighters fighting it right then and there, and the destruction caused by it was far from beautiful. So that's a very cool way to put it, and a very cool way to look at a firefighting game. I do believe Kerry Anderson worked as a firefighting scientist, something like that. Worked in the field for the Canadian in Canada at some point. So he should know, and it would be, and it is interesting. It is. Again, I used to sit at night at Ecuador and look up there at look just like a battle line, right? That line of fire, and sometimes just the burning embers, just an odd feeling. Like I said, in many ways beautiful, but very, very destructive. So let's look at this game here. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I didn't get the game in the mail. Took a while to get here, and I'm fine with that. I'm never okay. Love that. First of all, I love the art. Let's look at that art. I think that art was on the Fiery Dragon mini game. Nice art. All right, and if we look on the back side here, fire growth chart, expense track. Hey, this game, when I see that fire growth chart, this game can't end fast if it gets out of control. Time record track, weather table. This is a solitaire game, mind you. So, right, so we got rules book. Okay. Let's look at the counters. What is that? It's another chart. That's a counter summary. Good deal. Terrain effects chart. Very well done. Fire spread directions. Some examples. And here we have the counters. Counters are sort of thin, but again, I'm not even. They're functional, very much so functional. Kind of do remind you of those old Counter-Strike mini game counters, and I'm fine with them. They're functional. What do you need? What else you need? You know, you're buying a Ziploc game. You can't expect everything to be high quality. We got a lot of maps here, a lot of forest. Map after map. How many? Maybe 6 maps? It's the highway, scenic highway map. All right. Forestville map. Wow. Maybe 4 maps. Yeah. Parkland County map. I like them. I like the maps a lot. Just you kind of got to adjust your eyes to them, what you're looking at. But I like the hexes. I like everything. That won't bother me to look at it for long periods of time if needed. That's my eyes sometimes are not the best in my what is my middle age quickly heading to old age, and sometimes looking at certain colors bother me after a while. This does not. I guess it's just me getting grumpy. I don't know. And we got a book here. It's a very short book, rules book, which I'm fine with. The shorter the better. 8 pages. 8 pages. That's that adds, going to designer notes and all that stuff, right? So, not bad at all. Let's look at the sequence of play, and then we will talk about some more upcoming things this week. All right. Well, if I can hold it back here, sequence of play. Oh, by the way, I like this paper for the rules. I don't like glossy paper. I like paper like black and white, and I like something I can write on well, and this is what it is. So, just an aside there. Smokejumpers is played in a series of game turns. During each game turn, events occur in a series of phases called the sequence of play. The sequence of play should be followed rigidly to ensure proper flow of the game. The sequence of play is as follows. Okay. Very procedural type of a thing, and I'm good with that. Solitaire games should be. weather phase. The game turn AM PM marker is moved ahead 1 hour. All right. The wind speed and moisture content are adjusted if required. The die is rolled for weather variability. The rate of spread marker is moved to the appropriate cell on the fire growth chart according to the current turns, moisture content, and wind speed. Very well. Get down here, 4.2. Fire growth phase. So you got the weather phase, fire growth phase. Replace all active fire markers with smoldering ones. Yeah. Place active fires in all hexes into which the fire can possibly grow according to the head, flank, and back rates of speed. Evacuate any resources overrun by the fire. Right. Then 4.3 ignition phase. Roll to determine. Roll to the ignition phase. Roll the die to determine if a new fire occurs. Randomly placing this new fire on the map. Resource phase. Conduct the activities of each unit individually. Activities include movement, transport, line building, and extinguishing fires. And the expense phase. The cost markers, $10, $10K, and 1K, 1,000 and 10,000 are moved to reflect the operational cost of all resources used this turn. Request an air marker. Choose any emergency deployment resources. Very well done. No problem misunderstanding that. There's no, it's written in a way that you can understand. I do like that. It spells out pretty good. Good sequence of play. And yeah, it's been a while since I've looked at this or pushed a few counters to play, but I'm playing another game right now. We got a big review for next week, so I'm playing some other smaller games. I want to refresh to do many reviews this week. So yeah, Smokejumpers. It's available from get it online. I think at Microgame Design Group. It's I don't forgot the exact $25, $30, something like that. I'm okay with paying that for this game, being it's what it is, a different game, a game that unconventional, and it's from a small design group, so that doesn't bother me so much. The price I'm okay with. But yeah, you just don't expect a big box game or anything like that, which I do not. I expect that, and that's what I get. I like the maps. The maps, while they are not thick cardstock, they're not bad quality at all. I don't know what was used, where they got the paper from, but I like the paper. They'll hold up better probably than maps from bigger companies I've seen, right? It's nice maps to hold up. But yeah, it's available if you would be interested in it. A game where you're not killing stuff. You are killing stuff. You ain't really killing people. You're killing fires. You're fighting fires. So that's cool. In a traditional wargame format. I love that type of thing. And again, it's subversive type, not subversive in content, but maybe subversive to wargamers themselves, you know. You know, some wargamers, if you're not hiding behind a tree in a tactical situation and, you know, firing at somebody, then it's not a war game. So you may not think it is a war game. I'm fine with that too. You know, there's a whole range of opinion and a spectrum of thought within any hobby, and I like to look at it all, and I like to tread on it all, especially those games, especially the stuff that doesn't get the light shed on it like the bigger games do. So there it is. We're done. And again, we'll look for some more reviews this week. Look for one on Wednesday or Thursday. One of those 2 days, I have time to squeeze one in. And I'm busy working on my own stuff, my own game, another game book that I shall get out this spring probably at some point. It's just been slow going, but I've enjoyed it immensely. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.